And we have many writings, historical writings, which clearly says that it was Simon the Cyrene who bore the cross and was crucified. What would you say about this historical narrative? You will say, dismiss it. Why would you dismiss a historical writing just because some other writing you take in? Yeah. So when Jesus
call you Father,
when Jesus uses the word
teacher,
my Father, he says your Father and his Father is the same. So clearly you are not literal Son of God.
I'm talking about the same guy in this verse. I'm in this sentence.
In this sentence,
Like
go ahead.
he specifies my Father is the exact same as. I'm saying it in the same terms as your Father.
Yeah. So do you agree that when he said, I'm going to my Father and your Father,
Yeah,
this is not literal? Because you are not a literal Son of God.
I am.
So God has some of his...
Created me.
No.
Whoever created
You're
me.
If
is-
you're created, you're a creation of God, not a Son of God. So that's why we need to distinguish between...
We are creation.
Creation is not synonymous with being a son.
It's not the
This
same.
guy helped create me. He's my Father.
No.
Yes.
When we use the term
I was
son...
nothing,
Yeah.
and I became something.
When we use the word son,
Yes.
we said either literal, that means your father provided some DNA,
Yes.
and your mother provided DNA,
Yes,
50-50,
I was
and then you
made in
became,
God's
right,
image,
right.
yeah.
So, what substance are you implying that you have of God?
Exactly.
His image.
So, Jesus and you have the same image of God.
Yes.
Right. So, whatever makes Jesus God makes you God as well, because you have the same image.
Yeah.
Whatever makes Jesus God
Because you have the same
What
thing.
is mean by
makes.
image?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what you
Makes
said.
you. Jesus has the sonship with his image. You have the sonship with the image of God. So you are on the same equal footing. If that makes Jesus God, it should make you God.
No, that's not what makes Jesus God.
What makes Jesus the Son of God?
What makes? Yeah, I'm
Did he
confused.
say that he wasn't? Did he deny that no, I'm not when asked many times?
Okay. So when he says Son of God, he explains what Son of God means. He explains, as I use this example, I'm going to my Father and your Father. So he explained his sonship
When
is like...
challenged about it, he never denied that he was the Son
No,
of
I'm
God,
just
and
giving you-
hence he died for that fact.
If I may, just to point on this verse, and maybe you can explain. When he said, I'm going to my Father and your Father, has he explained his sonship is unique here, or do you share the same sonship with God?
Okay, put it in lay terms for me here. Simplify it for me. I'm not.
If I was Jesus,
Yes.
if I were Jesus, and I said, I'm going to my God and your God, and I'm going to my Father and your Father. So is my Father different than your Father? No, I'm just saying, I'm going to my Father and your Father, because there's only one Father in heaven, right?
What? You're taking a verse and saying just because he didn't specify, now we're gonna talk about it. Like,
In this verse,
like I'm not learning.
anyone who understands, anyone, including yourself,
Yes.
if you were to read this, you will see that this verse says the sonship and fathership
So if I
between
literally
the Father
don't
and
read
Jesus.
anything and just this verse,
This,
then
no,
I'll have
no,
this.
no, no. Whole context. First, the problem is this. Some people want to read the context without the text. I'm saying no. Read the text first and then bring the context in.
And you yourself.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
no, no. Bring the
yes,
context in. Context in. So the
Read the
text,
whole life story. Not
Yeah,
just pulling out
of course,
I'd like
has
that.
Jesus ever said
You can take that
to
apart.
anyone that I am God?
Has he denounced
No one's
it?
going to be right.
No.
Has he denounced it? No,
Yes.
but no. Hey,
He has.
he's denounced that he's the Son of
Denounced that he
God.
can't know about God.
What?
Has he made himself clear to people that he's God?
Has he denounced it?
Where?
Has he denounced that he is God, the Son of God?
No, no, no,
That
no.
he is
The
God.
question you're asking is
When asked about it, he went to the cross and died.
my
Why
question
would,
to you
why
is
would
this.
he do that? That's
Can
my
we-
question to you. Answer my question.
Okay, what is your
before-
question? Okay, let me
why
answer his
would,
question.
Why would Christ die on the cross?
He didn't die on the
for
cross.
Oh, he didn't?
Of course
Oh,
not.
you deny that as well. Then we have
No,
nothing
no,
to talk
no,
about.
no, it's not about denial.
We're talking about history, and we're
Okay,
talking
okay.
about what's written in
Let's
the
talk about
Bible.
history. No. This is the problem.
I don't want to debate
It's
history.
not about you are assuming there is a historical evidence or record
We are already have a huge disconnect here. That's what I believe. That's what the Bible states. That's what history states. So if you do not believe that, then that's your prerogative, my friend.
What you're missing
but
is this.
I don't
You think-
necessarily hold that same belief. And we could argue all day.
No, I'm just showing you now your evidence for.
My evidence is my evidence.
No, I'm just showing you the evidence is very flimsy. It's not even evidence at all. And let me share with you why. Perhaps you haven't heard my. Okay.
The Bible is flimsy.
No, not Bible.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
There are many accounts of the life of Jesus Christ. Excuse me, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe in the biblical.
Hang on. There are not only
That's it.
people wrote about Jesus Christ. No, hear me out first. People wrote about Jesus Christ for the first few hundred years, right? There were not only 4 Gospels that you believe in, there are many Gospels. Gospel of the Nazarenes, Gospel of the Ebionites, Gospel of the Infancy, Gospel of St. Thomas, Gospel of many. Somehow, church traditions, they selected only 4, and you have different stories and reasons why they're 4. But we know there are many Gospels that are written, and some of them survive in extant
So
form.
he's questioning the Bible.
No, please.
Yes,
listen,
you
listen,
are
listen.
the authenticity
So when
of
we
the
have,
Bible.
when we have many writings, historical writings, which clearly says that it was Simon the Cyrene who bore the cross and was crucified, what would you say about this historical narrative? You will say, dismiss it. Why would you dismiss a historical writing just because some other writing you take in? So, for example, now,
I think
hang on.
there's most
Okay.
scholars agree.
No.
Bible
The
is
reason
congruent
why
with history.
non-Christian scholars
You don't wanna
agree.
believe that? That's
Okay. Do you have any historical evidence for resurrection of Jesus
you?
Christ?
You don't have any historical evidence either.
Excuse me.
Do you have any historical evidence that it
I would
did
like to understand
I
one
have
point.
biblical evidence.
Do you have any
And
historical
you know what?
evidence
The Bible
for
is
the
accepted.
evidence of
Just
Jesus'
wait,
resurrection?
Just wait. I have biblical evidence, and that is accepted as a historically accurate book
By who?
by the world, basically.
no,
If you go
clearly
through,
not.
okay, maybe
Let me-
not.
let me tell you.
Wait, just wait. Maybe not by you, but if you go
By
through
scholars.
Old Testament scholars, okay, yeah.
Sorry?
If
You don't
go
like
through-
scholars?
No, I'm just saying you're calling yourself a.
I am not
whatever.
calling myself scholar. I'm
Okay,
not.
okay, yes, scholars who we widely accept as, they've dated historical events, and these are pretty congruent with the biblical narratives, Old Testament, New Testament, all of that.
Let me share with you some which is clearly incongruent.
Yeah, of course. Now,
Because you need to hear the other side.
You know what? Sure, I don't have a whole list of the ones that are, but I know that there are many that are congruent.
Those
so
that
then
are not?
you and I are just arguing about
What you're missing is
the
this
evidence
point.
of the
Those
Bible.
that are
Like,
against your belief, incongruent, and against the historical narrative of the Bible, you have to explain away rationally these things. For example,
So there's nothing in
I
the
just want to make
Quran
one point,
that
right?
is
You can answer that.
historically,
Hang on. Yeah, we can talk about this. I'd love to talk about the
all
Quran.
accurate.
Hang on. I'd love to talk about it.
Letter of
Hang
the
on.
law. In
I'd
fact,
love to
it's
talk about this.
archaeological
In fact,
evidence.
I will challenge anyone to bring anything against history. But this is the secondary discussion. Which scholar,
I don't know where we're even going.
which scholars do you know of who are non-Christians, secular scholars? They believe there are historical evidence
so
for resurrection.
Josephus, so is it
Excuse me.
Josephus?
Did you hear my question? For
Yes.
resurrection.
Okay, but just wait. Just because we're questioning the authenticity of the Bible here, Josephus and the Old Testament, the Dead Sea Scrolls found in Qumran, the Dead Sea Scrolls are in, congruence with what Josephus, the Greek scholar, had written as well.
No.
Yes.
Allow me to show you why they diverge in the
Yes,
story.
please. In
In the
Old
Dead Sea
Testament.
Scrolls,
Yes.
how many messiahs are talked about? They're waiting for 2, at least 2. So now you realize you are expecting one messiah. Excuse me.
Okay, sorry, yeah, go for it.
You said in your Christian tradition there's only one messiah.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea Scrolls points to more than one. So obviously it's incongruent with your belief system. This is one example. But what I want to bring into this discussion is this crucial point.
Yes.
Because you somehow think there is a historical evidence for Jesus is whatever it is. Which historians believe that there is a historical evidence for the resurrection of Jesus who are non-Christians?
I don't know the names.
Yeah, sorry.
Do any of you know the names of these historians? Maybe you do, because you've done your research.
I can tell you that
Googled
I can
it.
tell you.
Yeah, I bet.
I can tell you,
tell
Bart
me?
Ehrman, for
Just wait,
example.
Just wait. Can you tell me? No. No. Okay.
I can tell
I'm
you.
a guy walking past the street.
I'm telling you,
I
Bart
know,
Ehrman, he's an agnostic.
I understand. I understand.
You're very uncomfortable with the evidence, right?
What?
I just told you, Bart Ehrman will deny there is a
How
historical
about
evidence
this? I'll
for
go home, I'll
resurrection.
I'll Google it.
Not Google
and
it,
I'll
going
come
to the
back.
scholarly literature.
Yes, I'll go on Google Scholar and I'll come back.
No.
And I'll have the evidence, whatever
This
you
really,
want.
I mean, I find
Do
it
you
interesting.
know, gentlemen, Mr. Sir?
You
Do
see
you
what
know?
you're doing? What you're doing?
Do you know the scholars?
Instead
No.
of discussing with
Look,
me
no,
on
but
the
look,
evidence
but
that you
look,
believe,
but look.
do you know the extant manuscript of Josephus when they date from?
No, absolutely not. Do any of you?
I do.
any of you?
I do.
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course.
You're talking to
And you
everyone
know
else
what?
besides me.
And you know what?
Fascinating.
And you know what? You picked me out of the crowd, asked me very specific questions from one
why?
verse. From
Not one verse. I was going to give you more.
You have
but
given
you're
me
not
one
interested.
verse, gentlemen.
No, I can give you more.
You've given me one
Do you want
ver-
more? Do you want more?
Yeah,
Does that satisfy you?
It's a matter of belief. Either you believe in the resurrection
Evidence
or
is the
you
case.
do not.
Evidence.
You suggest not.
No,
Others
it's evidence.
believe.
Not about belief. Evidence.
How do you know there's no evidence? What other reason would there be?
Check his own Bible.
You see, this is the double standard in this discussion. You bring the historians who are naturalists. Of course, they will believe Christ has died because that's the natural outcome of
understand your
people.
Bible?
You know, they will die because that's naturalism presupposes that. But they do not presuppose that people can be resurrected again because that's not natural. That's why historians do not believe there is an evidence, historical evidence for resurrection. But unfortunately, for you people that you know, you don't want to think about this that way. Now he's giving me his back.
Oh, hey, sorry.
There were witnesses who saw Christ rise.
So I'm telling you, you will not find historians giving you historical evidence for resurrection. Because the naturalism that is presupposed by these historians.
I'll do my research, and I want everyone standing here to do their research as well. Because one, no, I know, exactly. One gentleman's done it.
We talk about it when you know.
And if I had
You read it and then you come.
this gentleman was still here, he
You're
was
a
saying
Christian.
stuff too. Like you literally, you picked one verse.
See,
and
you're committing this
slammed
logical
it.
fallacy again. I'm going to give you as many verses you want.
Look, I'm
No,
sure
no, no,
you,
wait,
it's okay. I'm sure you've done this to a lot of young guys.
No.
I'm sure you have.
I'm sure you're feeling this inferiority complex. You are a smart individual. Don't feel inferior. Don't feel inferior.
Learning, it's about learning.
I know
When
that.
the evidence is presented on the table, you commit this logical fallacy.
With all the cameras and all that, it makes it a bit.
No, it's not the cameras. I mean, great.
You just said you've given me one verse.
But-
I'm saying I can give you as many as you want.
This is the thing. is
Logical
that
fallacy,
I'm
I'm
not
afraid.
being taught anything. I have learned nothing.
You haven't
I
learned
have
nothing.
only been attacked. I
Oh,
haven't
you've been
learned a
attacked.
single-
You've been attacked.
And the way you're.
So
Okay.
you cried.
Anyway, you know what? I think you need a break.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
am
cried.
crying about it.
Yeah.
I think you need a break, right? I think you need a break.
Yes. Hey,
A baby.
thank you very much.
Been here.
That's great. 40 years, I'll be back.
Take care.
Yeah.